I'm Sarah Sze, I'm an artist. This is a piece that I actually made for the Carnegie International in 1999 in Pittsburgh. And it was put into storage for 19 years, and it's just come out of storage and been reinstalled for the first time since then. I have a background in architecture and in painting, so this work actually is this kind of interesting marriage of the two. So you see painting and architecture coming together to make a sculpture. So a lot of the decisions are very painterly decisions. The composition is a play between a very structured kind of composing and movement of something like a brushstroke thrown across a room. The objects are the same objects from 1999. And I think actually part of the idea was also that they would be objects that somehow in their extremely practical use were sort of already perfected and might not change. Technology is totally the opposite. If these were cameras from 1999, they'd be unusable. The idea of using hardware tools is an interesting idea, because this idea that all of the tools to make the piece then become the piece, that the work, that a sculpture is a kind of tool for understanding space and time, and then the tools, almost like a kit, like everything you need to make the piece is actually in the piece itself. And there's a blurring of the seam between what's a tool to make things with or to use in a practical way, and what's an aesthetic tool. How do we use things aesthetically to understand the world or to make things? So you find things like ladders, or you see the electricity, you see all of the actual, tools that you might need, let's say, to remake this piece. Also, it's interesting in this piece, I realized reinstalling it, is the idea of the archive and how you sort of mark time through objects. So there are things in the piece that if you spend time with it, you can see it was made in 1999. And there are things that I've added that would actually inform that it was reinstalled at this date. So that this idea of a kind of collection of objects that actually define or become a portrait of the behavior of the time. And there's some evidence of it right here in a very archival way. So there's actually the ID card from 1999 is in the piece. And I've added actually the Tate ID card as well. So there's a 1999 receipt up in this part of the piece. And then there's a receipt from today. So in this space, you can see here the back room where the wall. So this is where you would never see if you were coming to the museum. But now with this piece, it's revealed that behind the museum walls, there are incredible things here. There are all of these small spaces, these kind of in-between spaces that help create the experience of the museum as a seamless space. This is what the seams look like. So through these windows, you get these sort of glimpses back here into this world, and enough so that you understand, but you don't know the full. So that puts you into the realm of the imagination, that you start to imagine what the possibilities of the building are behind the walls. How do you make something that's not live feel live? How do you make a work that feels almost like an ecosystem? That can be in the composition, that can be in the choice of materials, that you feel like the materials are actually active. This has this thrust that starts this movement, that it moves very quickly, and then it generates and collects and slows down in a kind of organic way, and having a humidifier, having a fan, having lights in the piece. So actually this idea of the air, the water, the light is all part of the piece itself. But I think what's nice about this piece is how do you take the mundanity of a space and the mundanity of things we know, like a wall or like a common light or a common plant, and put them in a situation where they transcend where they are.